Well, hello there. This is Sorvesteon coming to you from Riders of Icarus with yet another taming guide. And I am in the Sea of Hakanas at Fort Balas looking for Linck. So, Linck is this guy here. This kind of cool looking yellow flying lizard who likes to fly around Fort Balas. Now, like most other elite mounts in Riders of Icarus, he also needs an item, in this case a silencing scroll. And to get that item, well, it all starts with a quest. In fact, this quest that you get from Master Barter Crafter Watson. And he can be found at, of course, Fort Balas. And the quest will become available to you once you finish all the quests at, what is it, Utran? Yeah. So once you finish all the quests at Utran, then will unlock this quest called Silencing Scroll. And this quest will give you the recipe to craft a silent tomb, which you then will use to go, capture Linck. So, as with all things in Riders of Icarus, if you help me, I'll help you kind of thing, right? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So, if you help me with my research, I'll help you tame Lynic. So, I'm studying the sea's ecosystem. I think ocean light essence is the key to understanding everything. But the Aguls and Murumi of the Rainbow Reef are hoarding them, along with the stripped sea wings flying over the Barrel Archipelago. Return with the essence and you'll have my aid. The foes at Rainbow Reef are fairly tough. You could try your hand at the less formidable sea wings, but they're less likely to have ocean light essence on them. Oh yeah, I've been to the Rainbow Reef and they are tough. Alright, well let's go ahead and accept the quest.
I don't care how you get the essence. Just get it.
He doesn't care how I get it. Just get it, eh? Alright, well, I will see you over at the Rainbow Reef. Okay, so I'm over here at the Rainbow Reef to show you which mobs not to hunt for this quest. So let me open up my quest tracker here and let's go in and let's see what the quest said. So the quest said that the foes at Rainbow Reef are fairly tough, but they're supposed to drop them more often. Now, he said you could try your hand at the less formidable sea wings that fly around Fort Balas, but they are less likely to have the ocean light essence on them. That is not true. I don't know what this guy is thinking, but he is absolutely crazy. That is not true. In fact, from what I've seen hunting both sets of mobs, they have almost the same drop rate. Except one set is much, much more difficult to kill, which are these mobs here at the Rainbow Reef. And let me just show you how difficult this is. I'm not even going to try to attempt this without my mount. I need the power of my mount to make this happen. These coral murami are all elite monsters. And I'm not talking like elite in the dungeon, I'm talking like elite monsters. Like, watch this. Oh, wrong button. There we go. I mean, look at that. That is a lot of freaking health. These guys are mean serious business. And I mean, I'm a tank, so like I can take this. But can you imagine? Like, these are basically group mobs, and you need to have basically a group, or you need to be really pro, to basically take these things down with any sort of efficiency without losing a ton of your health, and just otherwise generally being not that effective. And that's not what we want when we have to grab 20. Oh, see, I got knocked down. Oops, wrong mount. There we go. Yeah, this is not the kind of thing that you want when you're questing, especially for 25 items. You do not want to have to go through this 25 times. Because that just absolutely sucks. I mean, it is interesting, like, don't get me wrong. I do find this rather interesting and enjoyable, you know, because it's kind of a bit more of a test of skill. But, yeah, no, you don't want to be doing this. So, I did get an Ocean Light Essence out of that. Oh, I got a Justice Feather. We'll need that for later. So, these mobs do drop the Justice Feathers. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But, obviously, this is not what you want to have to go through in order to get 25 of those things. There is a much easier way, and that is to go after these striped sea wings instead. Now, they do come in these large groups, but you know what? They are just so much easier to kill. Like, really, and you can just, you know, AoE them. And here, once I kill a few, I have to take this guy out first. Or I was still doing my spear thing. Like I'm not paying attention. Here, let's kill him first. Oh, see? So much easier. There's one, there's two. So, 2 for doing relatively half, or no, a quarter of the work of what we were doing with the other one, which was not working. Ah, see? Another one. It's no problem, like, this is so much faster. Not to mention, these guys, like, barely hurt at all. Like, even if you take them on in large groups, like, it doesn't really matter. Whereas just taking on one of those elite mobs, like really, really hurt. So these striped sea wings are definitely the way you want to go. You don't want to be hunting those elite mobs. You know, ignore Rainbow Reef and just, you know, come over here. You know, it's right beside Fort Bayless. Alright, and the quest is all done. Didn't take me too long, maybe just 10-15 minutes, as long as you go after the striped sea wings and not the mer people, which are incredibly difficult. That will take you a lot longer. So I'm just going to turn in the quest. Silencing scroll, yeah, complete. Awesome. So now I've got myself a silent tome recipe. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and learn that. And I've already got all the materials for my silencing scroll. Now, I want to talk about this just for a minute. The familiar orbs, you're going to have no problem getting. The vampire wings, you only need 5 of them. Those you will easily get through doing Carleon Manor. So those really aren't an issue. The issue is the Justice Feathers. Those are actually kind of difficult to get. And you saw I got one earlier when I was, you know, hunting down in Rainbow Reef. And they also drop off of the striped sea wings that I was hunting as well. And they drop off of basically like, well, a lot of mobs around here. The problem is they have a relatively low drop rate. And as such, you're going to have to do a lot of farming to get 20 of them. Like, a lot. Like, several hours, probably. I, on the other hand, did not want to do several hours worth of farming, so I actually ended up just buying them on the auction house. You can do that. They're a little bit pricey. Maybe around 50 silver each. And at 20, it's going to cost you, you know, like, maybe 5 or 6 gold. I don't know, depending. It depends on what's going on in the auction house and what people are listing them for. So those Justice Feathers are going to be kind of difficult to get. So if you haven't already gotten to the Sea of Hakanas, save those so that you don't have to buy as many or you don't have to spend as long farming. You know, save them throughout your questing here. All right. So, I've got all the materials ready to craft my silencing scroll, so I'm just going to go ahead and do so. And hopefully, crossing my fingers that I get more than one. I received 2. Awesome. Alright. So that's cool. So now that I have 2 silencing scrolls, I have 2 attempts to go out and get Linck. So let's go do that. So Linck, here, let me open my map. Linck flies in basically a circle around Fort Belus. And he doesn't really fly very fast, and he doesn't really particularly fly very high either. You know, if I come down to probably around, ooh, here, let me move that up. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's get down here. Alright, so he flies roughly around here at maybe around, 54 meters, so it's really not that high. And look, there he is right in front of me. Really easy to find. So I've got the scroll in my inventory, so no problem. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to attack him. Because you don't want to try and tame Lynic without having, taken down his health, because that will not end very well. You don't want to fail and have to go through getting all those justice feathers again. It is not cool. And I wouldn't be too afraid to, whittle his health down. See, look how far I've already whittled his health down. And you can just, you can just go around him like what I'm doing. It's not an issue. Alright, so now that I've got his health down, I'm going to go into taming mode. Now, I have to be very careful here, and I have to get, right up close and personal. Yeah, there we go. Am I close enough? No, maybe not. Maybe a little bit closer, so that I can, really get on top of him. Yeah, let's try that. Is it going to work? Oh, okay, awesome. Sweet. So we did whittle down his health quite a bit, because I definitely don't want to have to fail this. And it looks like it's going fairly well. Oh, awesome. And there you have it. So I found him relatively easily. He kind of flies around this level. If you come down to around, yeah, like what I said, not 15 meters, but let's try more like between 15 and kind of 50 meters. He kind of hovers around here, and he basically just flies, basically around the base of Fort Belus, and so he's actually fairly easy to find. And he's easily recognizable because he's got yellow stripes instead of blue ones. So, he really does stand out from the crowd. And so far as I've seen, there's not a whole lot of competition for him. So, you should have a fairly easy time, singling him out. Now, if he does kind of come up into these other groups of mobs that you don't particularly want to have to deal with, just let him kind of fly out, and he will eventually just kind of pat or circle around to an area where there's no other mobs, like where I found him and where I ended up taming him. And that's what you want to do. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of competition for this guy yet, so you won't really have to worry about someone else coming and taking him. So, don't rush into it. My advice is make sure that you get his health down before you start trying to tame him, especially if, you're not maxed, or if you're not level 25. And also, make sure that before you, try and, mount him, you get into position like I did, you take the time to make sure you get up close, right literally on top of him, so that when you do, press spacebar and make the jump, you don't fall into the sea, because, obviously that sucks. And then you have to, swim back to land, get your mount, and try and go back and do it all over again, right? And pray that no one else has come over to try and get him. So yeah. And that is how you tame Lynic in the Sea of Hakanas. This has been Sorvesteon. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about Riders of Icarus. Until next time, adventurers, take care and happy taming.